Greetings, fellow residents of Hastings, Minnesota. My name is Alec Matheson, and you are watching the season finale of Strangely Local, brought to you by the good people of Hastings Community Television. Many of us often fancy the thought of having the ability to see into tomorrow. We would like to know the good things so we can sleep better at night. We want to know the bad things so we can make sure they never happen. For a final show of the year, our guest believes they possess such a power. They are an artist, a painter to be specific, and their name is Elise. Why don't we give it a listen?
I moved into Hastings about a year ago. It was closer to the community college I'm currently attending, and I used to visit here quite often to see my family, so nothing was all that new for me. Painting is a hobby of mine. I took it up when I was a little girl, and I've stuck with it since then. In the past year, though, between my job and school, it's been hard to find time to keep all my artistic skills sharp and strong. In the last couple of months, however, I finally found some time to paint. And to be honest, it was quite frustrating to get back into the habit again. I'd been away from the hobby for too long. But after my first few strokes of the brush, it looked like something a beginner would do in their first day of class. But I kept at it, and in a few weeks I was right where I left off in terms of craft and quality.
Nice.
One day I had off work, and I found out my class had been canceled. I pulled out all my tools and painted on the deck of my apartment. It was a nice day. It wasn't too hot, but not too cold either. Not a single cloud in the sky, and the only noise came from the wind, which was at a low breeze. For minutes on end, my canvas was blank. I didn't know what to paint. But then I had an idea spring upon me. There wasn't any reason behind it, but as soon as I placed a dot of gray paint on the paper, I just expanded upon it until it was a smoke cloud, a big, thick cloud. I continued, and soon the image evolved into a painting of a boat catching fire in the river close by. Such events are not what I'm used to painting. I figured that perhaps I just didn't know what else could have been at the end of the smoke cloud. And because of how close I lived to the water, I just looked to it for inspiration. It was odd. Evening came, and I sat out on the deck drinking a glass of ice-cold water and texting friends on a phone. I heard a strange noise. At first I thought it was an animal of some sort, but accompanying it were the upset words of a middle-aged man. I looked over and saw a boat in the middle of the river catching fire.
Wow.
I was about to call it for help, but a neighbor beat me to it. The man fortunately escaped without a scar. I had trouble sleeping that night. I couldn't shake my mind of such a fantastic coincidence that had happened. After finally falling asleep and getting at least some hours of rest, I awoke the next day and painted inside instead of outside. Not because I was superstitious, but because, unlike the day before, it was unbearably hot. I chose not to paint anything that felt too close to home, so I decided to paint an image that was more conceptually pleasant, an ice cream cone, vanilla and chocolate chip. Just then there was a knock at my door. I opened it, and it was the child of a neighbor of mine. They asked if I would be happy to come over and have some ice cream with her mommy. I couldn't say no to that offer, and as I was led right down to the other end of the hallway, I wondered if the ice cream would be vanilla and chocolate chip.
Were you right?
I was right. Two events I did not anticipate I had painted on a canvas, one a negative, the other a positive. It made me think, but work became busy and things were picking up at school, so I didn't have time to dedicate myself to my favorite hobby, and so I stopped thinking much of it. I began again more recently, which is why I am here talking to you, sir.
Please, explain.
I was watching this series yesterday on HCTV, and I painted a portrait of you and the telephone.
Ah, so that explains why you called.
Well, yes and no. You see, there was another item in the painting. Your car.
Is it being broken into, or...?
Well, actually... Oh, hungry, buddy? Okay, I'll get you something.
What's going on?
Oh, my new cat, he's hungry. Look, I'm sorry, but I have to get off the phone now. Thanks for letting me on. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in this week. We will be back next fall with, hopefully, more stories of the strange. Till then, stay strange, Hastings, and happy Halloween!